Hey guys, this is Brian with turfmechanic.com. Let's talk about thatch today. Excuse me, frog in my throat. Let's talk about thatch today. Now you can remove thatch with thatch rakes or electric dethatchers, but in my opinion, those things are really kind of just removing surface debris. Actual thatch is a little bit deeper and it's harder for these things to actually get up off the ground. For my purposes, I have somewhat deep thatch layers in various parts of my yard. They're lingering problems from a handful of years ago that I'm slowly fixing. Instead of just ripping everything out and starting over, I think it's perfectly acceptable to just apply these products down, because every single time I put a liquid thatch product down, I don't put it down by itself. I usually put it down with something else that the lawn needs or would benefit from. Today I'm going to be putting it down with Cytogrow, which is a potent source of cytokinins. The whole reason for cytokinins is to push root development. Please, if you haven't watched my video about cytokinins and sea kelp, I will link to it down below in the description and right up in here. Summer is the best time to apply these liquid dethatching products, simply because the biological activity in our soil is the most active. In the high heat, I mean, it's just like a compost pile. A cold pile will break down in like a couple years or so. If we're turning the pile, keeping air and water and moisture in there, not oversaturating the pile, it will warm up. The biological activity in that pile warms up and it digests the food and material that you put into a compost pile, and it turns it into compost or soil amendment stuff. That's what we want going on in the lawn, and it's easier to do that in the summer because instead of like a 3-foot pile, our thatch layer is like half an inch thick, 3/4 of an inch thick. In bad situations it might be a full inch thick. It's hard for those microbes to break down something that's so thin. So we apply this stuff in the middle of the summer to give it the best opportunity to work. All right, now which liquid dethatching product you use is really kind of up to you. I used 3 different ones last year: Nature's Biological Dethatcher, Lawn Star, and Green County Fertilizer's Next D-Thatch. I've settled on Next D-Thatch as my preferred product of choice, but the choice is up to you. They're all going to work. They all work slightly differently. But they're all going to work in their own way. Again, down in the description below, I'll have links to my thatch series from last year where I compared all 3 products. Anyway, let's get into the rest of this video, the actual application of these things. To slowly get rid of the thatch in my lawn, I have thatch. I have a mix of Kentucky bluegrass, plus this was a sod install that didn't quite take so well, like, I don't know, 4 years ago. So there's still some lingering problems with the matting. Certain areas of the lawn have a lot of thatch, and other areas of the lawn don't really have much. Instead of just starting over, I do get random comments from people from time to time just suggesting that I just rip everything out and start fresh. That's so overkill. These products don't cost very much, and it's fun to apply them, honestly. Not to mention the fact that I apply them with other things. Sorry, my dogs are playing back there, growling. They sound like monsters. Anyway, I'm going to be putting D-Thatch down on the lawn today. I'm going to be doing this at 3 to 4 week intervals for the remainder of the summer, and about halfway into fall, maybe around like mid-October, I'll stop. The thing is, I never really put this down by itself. If I did, it might be like an extra steps. Yeah, there's the kitty. If I did, it'd be extra steps, and yeah, it would be a little bit more challenging. But I put other things down, so I'm going to be putting this down with Cytogrow. Cytogrow is a product that contains a lot of cytokinins. That's the entire point of the product. My daughter's going to help me fill up this rudder here, probably. Here, let me get the Cytogrow. Here we go. So there's the Cytogrow product. A lot of people will put down something called RGS. It's from the Next line. This is the Next product. Yeah, there you go. You want to hold that? So Next is part of the Green County Fertilizer, and they got a whole line of stuff. They have a product called RGS. It's got sea kelp extracts in there, so it's going to have some cytokinins, but this is a dedicated product. I'm getting humic acids with this. I'm getting my yeast blends and my molasses in there, everything that feeds the soil bacteria. If I put down the RGS, then I'm just doubling up some of those things. I really am interested in the cytokinins. So, thank you, baby. So what I'm going to be doing here, since I'm only using a 2-gallon spreader, is I'm going to be putting, I mean, I got kids here, obviously, kids and animals. I can never apply stuff to my entire lawn all at once. I always cut it in half. I don't really make this a clear in my videos, but I usually clear half of my yard of all of the kids' things and apply stuff to that half. So like for instance, the slide is here, but the other side of the house is clear. So I'm going to be applying over there, and then I'll be watering it in. And then later today, or maybe tomorrow morning, I'm going to do the same thing to this side. I'm just going to move stuff back and forth. Yeah, and I can only apply when this one's taking a nap. So, but anyway, I just wanted to go over that. I have videos, plenty of videos about thatch here, but I just wanted to touch on those little basics. Because I have a thatch layer, I'm going to be putting down the high rate of this, 9 ounces per 1,000, since I'm not doing kind of maintenance mode. If I was in maintenance mode, I'd do the smaller rate. But I'm in fixing mode, so I'm going to be doing the high rate, 9 ounces per 1,000. I'm going to be applying to about 2550 right now, and then about 2550, I don't know, 12 hours from now, the other 2550. So I'm going to be putting about 11 ounces of this in here. And then the appropriate amount of this. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, so I have to read the label. Even people like me have to read labels. So the Cider Grow, obviously, is a small bottle. The Cider Grow, I remember this now, because I've already done this before. Cider Grow, you're actually putting down a very small amount, which is why it's in a small bottle. 2 ounces per 2,500 square feet is a common application for lawn settings. That's what I did, I don't know, about a month and a half ago when I put it on the lawn the first time. This time I'm going to do the same thing, except for since I split half of my yard, at once. I'm only going to be putting 1 ounce of this product in here to do half of my yard, and then later I'll do another ounce to do the other half of the yard. So grand total, I'm putting 12 ounces of product in my pump sprayer. I still haven't picked up a new battery. This is supposed to be a battery sprayer. My battery died on me, and I just still haven't picked up a new battery, so I'm still using the hand pump. These things work just fine. You don't need to go out and get a fancy spreader. They certainly help, and they're nice, but the pump's been working fine for me. No, it's Daddy's. Shake it, 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 shake it. Whoa, yucky. Ew. This one's yucky too. Yucky. Yucky. Yeah. Push it down. All right, got my sprayer all set up with my D-Thatch and my Cider Grow. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to apply it right here. This is my new baby grass. This is doesn't look like baby grass anymore. It just looks like splotchy, almost filled in grass. This is all perennial rye. There's some weeds mixed in there. This was planted in the spring, so it's a little bit patchy because it's a spring planting. There's still some weeds. In about 2 months, somewhere in mid to late August, I'm going to be putting down Kentucky bluegrass here to mix it in with the perennial rye, so have a solid KBG perennial rye mix. Anyway, point being is I'm going to be putting the Cider Grow down on this spot today. just because I want it down today. It's more moderate temperatures. In a couple days, it's going to be 100 degrees out here. So I want the cytokinins to be on this as early as possible, going into the high heat. Anyway, beside the point. So over here, you see I got my slide, I got the jungle gym, I got hose and random toys. Over here, I've largely cleared the yard. So I'm going to be applying from about the swing set all the way around where I don't have, I'm going to get around through here, where I don't have stuff on the lawn. This is how I do it all the time. So I'll water it in. So I'll apply here and then I'm going to water it in like really heavy. I haven't watered. I mean, this is amazing. The grass looks fantastic for this time of year. I mean, we've had lots of 90+ degree days in the month of June, much more than we normally get. And everything is holding up really, really well, even though I'm only watering it about once every 6 days or so. Anyway, I'm going to apply this and then I'm going to water it in really deep. Really deep. And then later today or maybe tomorrow morning I'll do the other side of the yard. You'll notice that when I do this, I actually set up all my grass pots here. I keep different grass types in pots, really for learning purposes. Yeah, there you go, baby. Some of them look like they've seen better days. I let them get a little bit too dry about a week and a half ago when we got up into the 90s. But they're not dead. They're coming back. Anyway, since I'm applying essentially humic acid and D-Thatch and cytokinins, none of it's really fertilization. I'm going to be applying it to my pots as well. This is a sneak peek. Here you go. That is Bermuda grass growing here in South Oregon. That is zoysia. And this is the beginning stage is a centipede. Centipede takes a long time to get going. All right, go for it. Whoa!
Whoa, damn, I want to try it.
Is that how you inflate the bottle again?
Yeah.
All right, that's it for today's video. I'm going to get into this pool in a few minutes here, but I want to leave you with this. If you don't have a plugger and you're not really sure exactly how to diagnose if you have thatch, go down in the description below. I've got a link over to my website with a full page all about kind of diagnosing the thatch problem. Also, if you don't want to spray on your lawn, electric dethatchers do dig down under the soil surface a little bit, so they are helpful. They don't just deal with surface debris. Also down in the description, I got a link over to the site where I compare some of the best electric dethatchers. Take a look. Also up here in this corner is a link to more electric dethatcher content published on the channel. Hopefully you'll find that useful as well. Thanks for watching, and now it's pool time.